Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not Another Podcast. If you don't know, my name is Adam. I'm the MTB Rad Dad. I am joined by Luis, the MTB Deseret, and our guest today, Tony, the Outsider MTB.
Hello.
What's up, Tony?
How's it going, young men?
It goes.
Yeah, one of those days.
I was just talking to Alan, and he kind of did that to me too. He's like, back in my day, we had these things called telephones that we called people with.
Yeah, I don't really like I prefer the text message these days for some reason. Like there's so much stuff with the phone call that there's so much small talk you have to get through sometimes to get to the real business.
Right.
Text message is just like, this is what I want to know. That's just me.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Absolutely. Like sometimes my wife calls me and I'm like, uh-oh, what happened?
Right.
Yeah.
She just wants to ask me something, but I instinctively just assume that it's some sort of emergency because she has to get a hold of me like right now.
Yeah, the phone, especially if you're not, there's usually like, what's the reason? Oh, this is unusual. Someone's calling me. Or you just get the, for some reason, the what are they called? The fraud calls have now been like a normal thing for me on cell phone, on my phone. And so anytime there's like a number I don't have in my phone, I don't answer it.
Right. Likewise.
Yeah, because if you answer it, I don't know if you guys know this, if you answer those calls, you get like signaled or like oh wow, this person answered, so they'll call you more. So never answer those calls because they track you.
Dude, at my work, we used to get the like business loan offers all the time, and my boss started it, and like we kind of just followed up with it. Someone called like, "Hey, is so and so there?" It's like the owner is like, "Who is this?" "Oh, this is so and so investing." Blah blah blah. It's like,
yeah.
Do you want a loan? It's like, yeah, we'll take one. Are you the owner? Yeah, I'm the owner. And we'll just like keep them for like 15, 20 minutes and go, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Savages. I like it. Good.
Yeah. So, what's going on this week, you guys? Are you guys riding this weekend? What's happening? What are all the things?
Oh man. So, Sunday I'm going for a ride. We're still not sure where. Probably gonna go to Greer or San Clemente. So
You gotta be going early.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, one of the guys at work just got his bike. I just did a review on his Polygon, and he's just stoked. So he's just like, "Let's go ride!" And you know how it is. And then he's starting to hit more jumps now. So he's like, "Let's go to San Clemente where they got jumps," or "Let's go to Greer," because he hasn't been to Greer yet. And I'm like, this place is pretty good. So he's super stoked. So pretty much showing that guy around.
Greer is fun. I mean, I'm almost like so I'm not news to everybody. I'm not a very good morning person. So by the time I'm up and ready to go to Greer, it's like 1,000 degrees right now. So I miss the winter months where you can like head out there at noon and it's like 65 and overcast. That's my like favorite time. I'm a fair weather friend, I guess you could say sometimes on the bike.
I headed out on Sunday, I think, and it was I set out about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was like on the trail. I'm like, yeah, it's a little warm. I'm like, let's see how hot it is. Oh, it's 100 already. Oh, okay, that's why it's a little warm.
That's death for me. Yeah, especially like if you have no shade.
There's no shade.
Even here in Laguna, like that's one of my favorite spots. It'll say like 80, but you'll be out there for 2 hours and there's like no trees in some of these trails. So like there's been times where I'm just like looking for a little bush to just hide under for a couple minutes to try to get away for a minute because
you're hiding down there with the
rabbits. Yeah, I'm like a little rabbit, little snake right there, hiding in his cubby.
Man. At least at Greer, there's a couple of trees you can kind of hang out next to. Take a little break. Oh man, but
things are good.
I was watching. I was missing the trails down there in the desert. I was watching the segments video today. I was like, oh, I miss Han.
Han is so good.
Yeah, got to get you out there one of these days, Tony, so that way you can.
Wait, where's that?
Me in this area.
Oh, Palm Springs area.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are down, I have never done the Palm Canyon Epic. If there's a way we can get a group together and do that.
Definitely. We're planning, I think, November. I'm gonna try and work with the Trail Dogs to actually do a collaboration on it because they've done really good on setting up the group rides of doing something in November. But if you want to come out before then, we can just go out. There's the three of us.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, whenever. I'm not picky. Like, if you guys want to do one before that, I'm down too. I know that's an all day thing, and it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's like 3 hours worth of riding.
It's 3 hours.
It gets so warm out there that you don't want to be out there midday, especially if somebody doesn't like waking up early in the morning. So
I don't, but I will if I have to. I will do it. It's just not fun for me.
Well, that's like when Mark came out. I was like, Mark, what time? We should probably start early because you're not used to the heat. He's like, I guess how about 5:30? He's like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, oh, I gotta get up early.
Wow, 5:30.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I think part of it for me is I've just been programmed. That's not a thing. Programmed since COVID. Like I just go to sleep at like 2 or 3, and then so if I need to get my like 6-7 hours, like it extends to like into like 9 o'clock sometimes. For some reason, I keep getting like I'm the guy that's like tired at like 10, but then I get a second wave, and I'll like be editing or doing some kind of work or something like that for the next 4 hours, or just watching a bad documentary. And just all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. And I'm a video game guy, so since I was a kid, going to bed at 2 or 3 is like how it goes.
What are you playing?
Right now, I just started a new game called Deathloop, which just came out. This week. It's pretty great game actually. But I'm waiting for. We don't need to get gamer talk, but there's a new Metroid coming in October. And Elden Ring, and there's all these things that are happening this year. I'm very excited about. I have both consoles. I'm a diehard gamer from back in the day. Actually, in college, used to write video game reviews. I was a journalism major and used to write. I reviewed Skater. I reviewed Skate 3 for MTV. I think it's still Googleable.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a weird past.
Just because this is a mountain bike podcast doesn't mean we stray away from the topics. I mean, we do this on every single episode. So I was a huge gamer. I still play now. Mm-hmm. My son is definitely more of a gamer than I am now. But I mean, I used to do. Oh God, I got deep into World of Warcraft there for a while.
Oh yeah,
and that was a bad rabbit hole.
I never played any of those style games where it's like, the worlds that I don't know. Mine was more of like had an end.
Yeah.
Like World of Warcraft. I know it's more of like an experience, right? And you like get new things added on constantly.
That's like an RPG type of game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What kind of documentaries do you like watching? Other than just bad ones.
anything and everything. Any type of serial killer documentary.
Oh Lord.
There's just anything. I don't even know what the most recent one is. Basically, if you find a documentary on Netflix and you just go through the whole category, I've seen every single one.
Oh, good grief.
It's just how it goes. I'm just like a movie guy too. Like a lot. Like if you watch some of my videos, there's always like movie clips and stuff in there. And it's usually pulled from my brain where I'm like, that would fit here, and I'll do a quick Google search.
You're like mid-editing, and then you're just like, yes.
Yeah, that's part of my favorite time when I get to that part of the video. The part I hate the most is like 3 hours of footage I have to dwindle down to 30 minutes, and then I have the fluff, and then you narrow that down, and then, okay, I've got the core of what I've got. Now let's make a story out of this, and then that's my fun time. Making it, like adding the little spices to it or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever watch your videos after you make them and you publish them on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, I'll usually torture my wife and make her watch it with me. One of the things I like to watch it on my TV is because I just know what I watch all of my videos on Apple TV, so I know what it should sound like on my TV. So after I publish it, I'll usually watch it on my TV before it goes live, just to make sure the audio seems okay, or if there's anything I have to fix. And there's been a couple times where I'm like, shit, I should have watched it, and I didn't. Audio's messed up. So now I'm like pretty religious about it. Like I have to, like I'll publish it unlisted, I'll post it on Patreon and watch it on my TV, and then when I know it's okay, then it's okay to publish to the public. Yeah.
Dude, I've straight uploaded videos and like came back to it like months and months later after it already taken off, and I was like, oh, what the hell? Why is this so zoomed in? Like a crop had like stayed in through, and it got copied to like a whole bunch of sections. I was like, oh.
There's like a whole clip that you didn't know was there or something. Yeah, I'm pretty paranoid about that stuff now.
Oh yeah,
it's happened to me too. I think once you make that mistake, you're like, I'm gonna fix that from now on.
How often do you go? How often do you go back and look at your old stuff?
Every once in a while. I to be honest, like 6 months ago, I was doing it quite a bit because I was just learning a new software program, and I was like looking at what I used to think was good.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all relative to what you know. When I didn't know anything, me making a video was amazing, just making one. And then now that I've put myself through kind of like the ringer for learning software and like watching videos and doing research and figuring out what's good and what's not, or what in my opinion is, I feel like I've come a long way. So it's weird looking back and seeing them because it's cringy. But at the same time, it feels like, wow, I can't believe back then I thought this was good and I was proud of it and I was like showing my friends, and now it's embarrassing and I don't want anyone to watch it. You know, who knows? That's probably how I'll feel about my videos right now, maybe in 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at one of Shane, the Crashing Dad's videos, like one of his like first videos he posted, and I was like, oh my God. Dude, you mess with the saturation and like vibrance way too much because it was like fully pumped. I was like, dude, really? He's like, I know, this is terrible.
I know I've done the same thing where I didn't even know what color correction was back then. I was just I was just like uploading raw clips, then not touching them. And then I mean, for the longest time I used iMovie, which is like the worst thing you can have.
That thing's horrible. I was using that for a while too.
Yeah.
That's what Mark still uses.
Oh,
what? Yeah? Good grief,
yeah.
Mark.
Once you move into, like, it took me a while to make the jump. For me, the easiest move was to get Final Cut, and because it's like iMovie but a bigger house.
Oh yeah.
So that's when I feel like I really came into my own and could, like, the ideas I had I could make happen. Or in iMovie, I feel like the ideas I had,
it's very
I had
limited.
like cheat a way to find out how to do it. You know, like it didn't have the way to make it happen, so I had to like figure out an outside way to do it or something.
Yeah,
you got to get creative at that point. I've been using, ever since I started using LumaFusion, it's way easier. And once I started using now I have like LUTs preset, and it's just easier to use. But it took me a little bit to try and get those LUTs set up, because you can't use the same one for just everywhere, because it's going to be like overexposed, or the dirt is going to look like super weird. But once I started using those, I actually got compliments like, whoa, dude, like, what camera are you using? It's like, it's the same camera. It's just, I know what I'm doing with the colors now, so it doesn't look like a colorblind person made this video.
No, it's important. There's little subtle things.
Trying to find, like, I know when I first started, I spent a ton of time trying to figure out why and how to overcome the YouTube compression. Like, you see people upload videos and it gets compressed all to hell. I was like, why is this happening?
It's all like,
what do you say compressed? Like, it just looks like crap?
Oh, it looks like crap. It looks like someone re-uploaded and downloaded it like 20 times.
Oh yeah.
So like everything just gets like super blotchy and blocky and just looks really bad.
Yeah, it's really interesting how things go, like starting a channel and then figuring out what little things make such a big deal to you. But then you always wonder, like, it took me 3 hours to figure this thing out. Is anyone going to notice it? But in the long run, I think it's noticeable, because if it wasn't like that, like, it's those little things that people don't compliment you for, but when you figure them out, it makes the video that much better. But you can't put your finger on it. It's like a million of those, But
go ahead.
I think I was just saying, like, all those things put together is one big thing, right? Like, all those little details that might not seem like a big deal that you put time into in the end of the video, it's what makes your video sometimes, it makes it look that much better.
Yeah.
Not to call out Mark here, but he did where he got the 2 spy glasses. And I was like, Mark, I'm probably the only person who's going to pick this up, but you can see you holding the box of the spyglasses you're about to pick up at the door. Because he's like walks down the stairs with them in his hand, and like you see him get to the door to open it up, and there's the box that he was carrying down.
What is it called? It's called something like that in movies. Continuation, something like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh man, it's an Easter egg. You figured it out.
What beer is Tony drinking? I have Blair. Blair, who also is a subscriber of mine. Love Blair. Point Conception, Figueroa Brewing, IPA.
He actually messaged me right before we started this. He's all, I'm so stoked that you're going to have him on.
Yeah, Blair's great. He was just in a great show for a couple months over in Laguna Beach. Invited myself and my wife. Pageant of the Masters, and if you guys haven't heard of that, look it up because it is one of the most amazing shows I've seen, and the details that go into making something like that are insane. Blair, thank you. We still think about and talk about that night. It was awesome, and his wife played. It was like a family affair. His wife was in it, playing the Statue of Liberty. It was just a great experience.
Nice.
Plug for Blair.
Oh man, Crystal Bike hooking it up.
He's got a question for you though.
What's downstairs? So have a sticker. Oh, dude, I don't know. I used to send them out to people, but I carry them with me if you see me on the trail, or I'm going to be dropping jerseys soon. So get a jersey, and I always throw in a bunch of stickers in the bag as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of the jerseys, those things look great.
Yeah, they do.
Man. Yeah, I sold out just from having them on Patreon. So the first run is continuing into the next run that'll be here in a couple weeks. So I'll unleash those on the public in a couple weeks. I'm excited about it. Everybody seems to like them. Thank you.
Same colors?
Yeah, the first run is going to be the same color. It's going to be the black and white. And then the next run we'll switch things up. But I was going to do a run too, but I hadn't because everyone on Patreon had bought them all up so quickly. Yeah. I just figured let's just do another quick run because I want everybody to get a chance to get that one as well. So We'll do another run of 50 and then on the run 2. But yeah, so far it's rad. I couldn't believe how well it did in the first couple of days. So I was stoked on that. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember like a year ago I found your channel and I'm like, oh man, this dude really breaks things down, And I remember I had asked you, I was like, hey, do you have a Patreon or something, so I could help out or whatever? And you're like, no, not yet. And I'm like, okay. And then now it's crazy. You're doing this, full time. It's just nuts. How does that make you feel?
It's an amazing feeling because it's a lot of the time when you start a channel, you put so much work into it and you don't really know who's watching. But when I started the Patreon, so many people signed up and the community has grown so much, and doing these group rides every month, we've all become great friends. So it's a two-parter. Like one of them is like, I'm appreciative that so many people care enough to contribute and become part of that and to support the channel. And the second part is the community is so rad because we've all become friends. So I feel like kind of blessed to be able to bring all these people together and meet up every month and have such good times. Like I gotta be honest with you, like I'm pretty lucky to have this group of people that join me every single month. Like there's another one, I won't tell you guys, but we're doing one at Sky Park this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. Like a lot of people that do these group rides, it's a lot of work, but for me, it's like I'm with my buddies, and I feel like even though I'm running it, sending everybody, telling everybody where we're going to meet, when we get there, it's kind of a cooperative experience where we just kind of ride together, and that's pretty rad. Yeah, it's over explaining right there, but it's cool.
Oh,
that's super awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy how much you've grown, and you got the opportunity. You just kind of went 100% into it, and I think it's really paying off.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind and all that stuff. So it means a lot. You guys are making videos. Much time goes into them. So when you start to see the positives come from it, and people see you out there and they know this video, they watch your videos, it's a pretty rad thing to get on the other end of things, in the back and behind the scenes. So
it's
absolutely
cool.
Do you still get stoked when people come up like, "Hey, Tony," like for the first time?
It's always surprising. I'm always like looking around like to see if they're talking to someone else. Like, hey, I always tell people I'm just some old guy with that makes YouTube videos. I really like that the trail guides, especially when I was starting out, they're still being watched a lot, and a lot of people that are new to riding are able to use those as maps. Basically, I used to always say like I'm bringing your maps to life, and I'm glad that those have become tools as well as entertainment. Like take a left here, take a right here. They're not the most fun to watch, but like if I always thought like if I had those when I first moved out here, I would be able to ride so many more trails. So those videos are just basically me figuring out my own trails too. Back then I didn't know the trails that well, and I was like, this one's good. People are gonna like this one. And
you need to come down here to San Diego, so that way I know where the hell I'm going.
I've been having Nobles on my list for a long time. I really want to ride.
I was
better word.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark. Joey rode. I rode with Mark this past Sunday and Joey, and they're like, let's do more rides, basically. And I know San Diego, for a lot of the people I talked to, for some reason, San Diego is kind of just like an untouched gem that not a lot of people ride down here religiously. So and Noble Canyon's definitely been on my list for a while now. So hopefully this year I got to check it off now that I'm a little closer, especially.
I'm actually shocked I haven't ridden that yet. It's like one of the best places to ride in Southern California.
Well, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
we got
here? We've got a lot of people in here today.
I know. Tony, you're just bringing them in.
Yeah, he is.
I feel like I know all these people. We got Joey, we got Mark, Adam.
Yeah.
Is this fun? Yeah, there's some rad people in here.
That's why we do this, is so we can just hang out basically with our friends, is what it comes down to. like this is what started the whole part of the conversation with Alan, where he's like, dude, we have these things called phones. I was like, yeah. But so Luis used to live here, then he moved away, and this was an opportunity for us basically just to hang out still.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Oh, really? So what you guys you guys were neighbors, and now you guys are 2 hours away or something, 3 hours away?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're like 2.5 hours away now, so not exactly ideal to ride with each other every weekend.
You guys aren't local riders anymore, but you guys can meet up at the park, I guess, up in the mountains.
Sky Park is about the same distance as it was for either of us now, so
yeah, it's pretty much halfway, so kind of works out. Meet there probably. We've been going like once a month, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just saw. So I was supposed to have a group ride on Sunday at Snow Valley, but the forests are extending it for another week. So it looks like we're going to still get another month on the weekends of Snow Summit and Snow Valley. On the 22nd, they're opening up. That's the word on the street.
The day that they announced it, I was literally like, that morning, it's like, all right, I'm going to Snow Summit this weekend. Luis, let's go.
Yeah, we were.
And then like that day, it's like, oh, everything's shut down. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And we've been talking about it all season. Me and Adam are like, all right, we need to go to Snow Summit, bro. We got to figure out a weekend where we can just meet up there and just do it. And then finally, I think it was Labor Day weekend, right? That we were planning on going.
No, maybe not that. Maybe it was that Monday. Yeah, it was that Monday.
Yeah, because we're like, screw it, let's just go. And then they're like, sorry guys.
Done zone.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there since 2018, so.
Oh, really?
A lot has changed, and I've changed a lot as well as far as a rider goes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting for you to go up there again then, because you're going to be like seeing things with a new brain and eyes. You've come, it's been a couple years since you've been up there. I remember going up there for the first time when I started out, and then going there a couple years later when I kind of knew what I was doing, and I felt like I was seeing things for the first time. Because the things you saw, the things I would see before that, I'd be like walking down or like creepy crawling on Miracle Mile, and then you start to see your lines differently. You know how it goes when you get the brain, and you just see things, the chessboard a little bit further down than you did before. And that's more bike time. I mean, people just ask like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like, a lot of the things are just more time on the bike. Like, same in skateboarding, same in mountain biking. Like, you just acclimate to your surroundings, and you learn the things that you're going to get bike lessons on a lot of the time on your own. Like, you make a mistake. This makes more sense.
Yeah.
go this way and go that. I don't know. That's just I learned the best just by like being in some activity, and then in there you can ask the questions. But for the most part, it's like time on the bike is here, and then ask the questions you want to know to people that have been around a little bit.
Yeah.
I do a lot of it from just watching. Just I'll just sit there and just watch people do something. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad, and then I'll eventually work up the courage to do it myself. Yeah. But it's definitely just being comfortable.
I've said this before, but like I grew up dirt bike riding, so a lot of this came a little bit more naturally for me. But I still like I look at before I was looking at the jumps on the mountain bike, like, man, that's big. Like I don't know if I can do that. And then like I recently got back into dirt bike riding, and I went to the track and I'm clearing these huge doubles and attempting 80-foot tables. Then I'm like coming back to the mountain bike going, I don't think I can do that. It's like, wait, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Your brain.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've finally gotten over that, but
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff and mountain biking, for me over the years, has just been me talking myself out of being nervous about something. Like just for me, you've done this before, and that was this big, just because it looks like this doesn't make it harder. Like the interesting thing for me is always like going back to the trails I learned to ride on, and then riding them again, and then looking at a feature that you looked at when you were starting out versus now, and it's like, oh, what was my problem? Or you just like you can see yourself through it now.
Yeah.
And but the thing that's funny about that is that because you used to look at it as such a big feature, it's not that easy. In your head, it's like your brain is still looking. My brain still sometimes feels like the way I used to, because I used to look at it this way. But when I get there again, it's like me having to overcome my old self talking to me like that. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. I don't know. But like your confidence has to overcome your insecurities just because you used to have them, knowing you're the confident rider you are now, and not that guy that's talking to you, telling you it's too big in your head. Does that make any sense?
Oh, it makes total sense.
That actually makes sense.
I mean, before we get to Adam Mock's question, you're like, we did the redemption ride on Pumpkin Epic, because that's where I hurt my finger, and we got to that point, and I was like, super like taking it easy, not going to do anything stupid again. It's just like, But Adam Mock here is asking a question: is there a trail that always sketches you out, even though you ride it?
For me, it's probably car wreck, because that one is just, for me, that's where I ride kind of most of the time, and for years I just never rode that trail because I thought it was super gnarly, and I built it up in my head to the point of becoming a thing, and then I went and rode it, did it fine, and then every time I'm in the trail, I'm totally fine and confident and kind of like I'm like comfortable blasting through it, but before I drop in, that little voice is like, it's car wreck, dude. Who do you think you are? It's kind of one of those. Yeah, but like I think that goes back to what I was saying before. It's like what you used to think about or built up in your head about things versus where you're at in your riding now, and that's probably what that is.
Yeah, like for me, it's Comet, that drop that you do. Man, how many times have I been gone to Sky Park? That was the first time, Tony, when that group ride, that I actually did the drop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, screw it. I mean,
that's because
I put myself in line from people behind me. I was like, I can't not do this, and it's stupid because after I did it, I was like, why did I? It's just dumb. It was so easy, But it's just,
that's interesting. You put yourself in a line, so you had to do it.
Yeah,
I was like I can't stop with 3 people behind me,
Yeah, you're gonna get more if you don't do it.
And I was up there. I was like, "Hey, dude, there's people behind you. You have to commit."
Oh yeah. I was just like, "Send it, man."
That's rad.
Oh, but
so now, are you going to go back there and be able to just kind of roll up and do it? What do you think? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, once you do it, you realize, oh, okay, it looks weirder than it actually is. I feel like for a lot of people, it's that sharp left turn before the drop, because and that's what, like, creepy crawl.
Yeah,
you can't. It's kind of you're blinded until you oh, what? And like, and it opens up. So once you overcome that, yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do it again, but then I looked up and saw how steep it was. I was like, nah, I don't feel like walking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Next time.
Looking at that from the bottom was like, holy crap, that's steep.
Yeah. Yep. That was a fun day.
Yeah. It was funny when
That was definitely
I had a little bit of hesitation taking Mark on Cat Canyon because I know Mark's skill level. I know he's a fantastic rider, but I don't think we've ever seen him do that kind of riding before.
Yeah, like I told Adam earlier, I was like, we're really good trail riders because riding down there in the desert, you just kind of you excel. There's not a lot of jumps, but there's definitely a lot of sketchy rock features and just the terrain is really rough. And then we go to this, we go to the bike park and we're over here looking like noobs, like how do you do? I was like, we struggle on jump line, but we just mob down these ridiculous trails with, exposure and all this stuff. It's just funny. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of
Two different brains. It's like whatever
Yeah.
you're comfortable with, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy. But so Tony, you got a pretty rich history as far as you is concerned, I guess. You used to skateboard. Found out something new tonight. You used to write reviews on video games. So that was,
Oh yeah.
that's,
I'm a big gamer. Yeah. Yeah. Long story short, my 20s, I was a pro skater. Lived a crazy lifestyle out here in California. And I think about 2001, yeah, I'm old. I moved out to Connecticut because I had a really bad I tore all the ligaments in my ankle at a contest in Florida, Tampa Am. And I just had a year off the skateboard and didn't go to therapy back then. I was young, didn't have insurance, and just like, partying too much and realized that like when I started skating again, I just didn't feel as confident.
yeah.
So I moved out to Connecticut, tried to figure out what the hell I was going to do next. Ended up going back to college after a few years, got a journalism degree. I'm a huge gamer since I was a kid. Ended up going and working at MTV Games. I worked in Times Square at Viacom for about 8 months. If you guys remember Rock Band was Rock Band.
Rock Band was awesome.
Yeah, so I worked at the same floor MTV News was on, which is pretty interesting because I would bump into. You guys remember Sway from MTV News?
Oh man,
he was like on the same floor, and we'd all share everything and hang out. It was actually a pretty cool guy. So I ended up getting in friends with those guys, and they knew I was a gamer. And so I think one of the guys gave me Skate 3. So I reviewed Skate 3 for MTV. So if you Google my name, then it's Skate 3. That review is still up somewhere.
Definitely doing that.
But
Let me take notes on that really quick here.
and then after that, I mean, the commute from Connecticut was hellish. I was like one of those guys, Mad Men. If you're watching Mad Men, they take the train in every day. It was like a 3-hour commute from where I lived in New Haven, Connecticut.
Man.
3 hours there, 3 hours back, $30 on the train. It was just not working out. Basically, it was a good resume builder and a good learning experience, but it was just not going to work out for me long term unless I moved it to New York. So I ended up a couple years later, got in touch with my old contacts out here in California, let them know where I was and what I had to offer, and sold everything I owned and moved back out here to California back in 2013 and started over. Just like, hey, got back in the skate industry, and the rest is history, I guess.
Crazy.
I said that was going to be a short story, but I feel like I was just explaining things for way too long. But yeah, that's the story.
That's intense.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, you got any crazy wild story that kind of stands out from your skateboarding years?
I have too many to pick one. I remember I was in randomly. I'll just pick one that comes to mind off the top of my head. Because I just recently told this story. I got sun poisoning once and only once in my life, and it was because
Did you say sun poisoning?
Yeah, sun poisoning.
That's possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was on a clothing company called Split Clothing, and they flew us to Puerto Rico for a weekend to do demos in Puerto Rico, and I was like, middle of the winter in Connecticut or whatever. They flew me there from there. I was pale as anyone could be.
Oh yeah.
And one of the guys putting on the guy that had the distributor there brought us out on his boat. Beautiful, blue ocean, dolphins. But he threw us on jet skis for the day. No sunblock.
Good grief.
So I didn't even think about it. So at dinner that night, I ordered like a zuppa de besh, which is like an Italian soup, which is not really a soup. It's like pasta with everything seafood. And
Tony, excuse me. Did you go to Puerto Rico and order Italian food?
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm using the term zuppa de besh because I don't know what the Puerto Rican version of that was, but it was.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a pasta with it was like their style zuppa de besh. Zuppa de besh. I just know it because I know what that's called in Italian, but and it tasted similar, but it was probably everything Puerto Rico has to offer seafood wise. Yeah, I did that wrong. Are you Puerto Rican?
No, I'm not. I just thought it was funny.
I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do Puerto Rico a disservice, but yeah, it tasted similar. It was delicious. But the point is, halfway through the dinner, I was like talking to someone, and then don't remember anything, and they told me I just passed out in my food. So I woke up in like the van. They were gonna take me to the hospital, but the locals said no. It was one of the worst nights of my life. I woke up in the middle of the night, like bloated, like my skin was like puffing off my body, and the next morning my feet were like wouldn't fit into my shoes. They were so swollen. I couldn't even I almost had to walk around barefoot. I had to get some extra large slippers to put my little toes into. And I didn't do the demo that day, but like the locals were cool. They stood behind, and I don't know if this is gonna work, but it worked for me. They went and they brought me potatoes. And they sliced potatoes into thin strips, raw potato, and they put them all over my body and all over my feet. And they said that's like the best cure for that. It's like this natural thing that the potato has. Because I used to think it was like aloe and things like that, but like no, just this is gonna help you. And I guess it just keeps you moist.
Yeah,
all right.
It worked out. I mean, it was a horrible experience, but I feel like the potatoes made it
Supremo.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a random story. That's a G-rated story, and then,
I figured you had a lot of non-G-rated stories. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's a good
one. And I mean, I was roommates with like people that are like still prominent and pro, so I don't want to like say too much, but
yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Huntington Beach. I drive by the area once in a while for nostalgia purposes. Right off Warner, we had a group of us called the Piss Drunks, and I wasn't really part of that crew, but they lived in our we had one of the apartments, and Rolling Stone did an article on it on everybody too. It was one of those experiences like in the early 2000s, things were changing quick. Skating was becoming popular for the first time ever, which was crazy to me because. Growing up, we had no skate parks. Everybody was just like, get a job, like pose. It was like skating. It was just like one of those. And then things changed where skateboarding became accepted. And I was like, what is going on? It's just like things changed quick, and now we're in the Olympics. Go figure.
Yeah, that's nuts, huh? I feel like mountain biking was kind of like that, It certainly feels like that here in San Diego, where it's just like, we don't like your kind over here, and you're just like, I'm sorry, walks away sad, But
I was just talking about that today, like how here in Orange County or Southern California, mountain biking kind of feels like the new skateboarding. Like nobody wants you. Get out of our trails,
get off our trails. You're ruining our trails.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But then you go somewhere else. Like this is what's crazy. You go to Sedona, you go to Park City, you go to Santa Cruz. I don't know, wherever. And you just feel more welcomed. Like they're like, please ride our trails. And then here it's like,
please. Oh, here's some
mountain bike
only trails.
Please come here and ride our trails.
Yeah, please enjoy our tourism here and eat our food and drink. And then here it's just like, fine.
If you must.
Yeah. Just tolerate us here in San Diego for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just don't get it.
Well, I say I say we as in it used to be we, but now it's just me. But lucky here, a lot of our trails, a lot of the times you're the only person there.
Yeah.
Like I took Mark out on that loop. We ran towards the bottom, maybe 3 people the entire ride
Hmm.
on like a 12-mile loop. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really nice. It's good and bad, because if you do hurt yourself, no one's gonna find you. But
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about people, which is nice. Which is you have the trails to yourself.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to me. Like, you pull into a parking lot and the parking lot's full, right? And then you get out on the ride and you feel like you're the only one there.
Yeah,
It's so nice though. It's like a pleasant surprise, you know.
Yeah, I
it's
like
where
that.
is everybody?
Yeah, like, oh man, hiding in the bushes, ready to pop out at you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but out there it's crazy because you can see the trail and everything, you know, around it. But here in San Diego, there's so much, you know, trees and brush. Last Sunday when we went down there, I was like scared. The guy was like, "If you got a bell, now is a good time to use it." I was like, "What the heck? Who brought bells?
Yeah.
We got bells? You know, like that's a thing down here." So I'm like, "Oh God, that's another."
yeah. We're
another
also
thing I
in a
gotta
weird
get.
time where people are just programmed to be angry. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what. So people are just on edge and they're just waiting for a reason to
Just
lash out.
agitated.
Yeah, like you feel it in restaurants or just somebody gets their order wrong. They're just ready.
I see it on the streets, on like people driving. It's like, guys, where's the rush?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's
We're
more
all gonna
heightened
stay at
than
the. We're all gonna be stuck at the same stoplight. Calm the hell down, you know.
Right?
Good
Yeah,
grief.
hurry up and get to the red light, man.
Yeah.
Although my wife hates my driving. I don't know if is that true? Is that me? She just says I'm a bad driver. I don't.
It's okay.
I don't
I
agree
get
with
that
that.
too.
Yeah, I just have my own driving style that she doesn't like. That's what it is. She's always scared in the car with me. She's constantly like. I'm like, it's just totally fine. I don't get it. It is what it is.
She's probably over there giving you the dirtiest look right now.
She's
You're
actually
like, my driving's fine.
We're gonna be done with this. He's gonna be like, "Let's drive to go get ice cream." She's like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I think
Adam-
we can't. Go ahead.
Oh, Adam Mock was saying I actually carry a whistle in my pack just in case. It's actually not a bad idea.
I think that's just
Yeah.
for when he needs an adult.
Yeah. Save me.
I have a
I need
I have a hydration pack with it built in, and
Yeah.
you can like use it as a whistle.
Oh
my,
yes.
my camera bag has that built in.
Oh yeah,
That's what
smart.
some of the clips have
Never
now.
know.
They're like clips and whistles. It's crazy.
I'm glad you thought that was funny, Adam. I don't think we can go this entire thing without talking about it. But the new GoPro launched today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What do you think there, Tony?
Oh, I'm getting it. I don't know what I think yet, though. We'll see.
You're like, I already ordered it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, we're at the point where I feel like we just know what to expect from these launches now. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
it's not a new camera. It's just going to be the improved on version of the last one, and I feel like that's what it is, which is cool. I mean, for me, this camera has got to be more about reliability, and if I can depend on it, because I couldn't use the 9. Maybe I just got unlucky, but I had 2 separate cameras that would have errors constantly, and I ruined 2 rides and videos from it. So I went back. I've been using the 8 since about a year ago or 6 months ago.
Wow.
And then I use the 9 as the non-POV shots. So if you watch the videos, I have like 2 cameras usually with me. So I'm looking for dependability and reliability from the 10 because I haven't gotten that with the 9. So if it can do that along with the new features and all the new upgrades that it has and the new chip,
Yeah.
then it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it seems like I watched Seth's video earlier and I kind of saw him scrolling through it and it looks like the interface is just a lot more smooth.
Way faster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way faster.
That new chip, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Scouts
I
Out
guess
brought up a good point. The 4K is now 120.
Yeah.
And the low light on it looked really good, which is something
Yeah.
Did look really good.
that we have to deal with constantly with tree cover and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the promises, right? Like it's going to be better at toning out the brights and darks
Yeah,
from shadows and things. So
I watched
that'll be awesome.
a DC Rainmaker's video on it, and he was mentioning it did have better dynamic range. So it is going to be able to kind of not necessarily blow out stuff and not necessarily lose everything in the darks as well. It should do a little bit better on making sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I actually watched that video today too. He's like the best one to watch for this stuff.
Yeah.
He nails it. He talks fast and he gets right to the point.
Yeah, you're just like taking in all the information. You're like, suck it up.
Yeah. I mean, for people like us, like that's all I want. I just want to know, like, okay, let's stop chewing the fat. Let's get right to it. You know, you ever watch those videos where you're just like waiting for the review to start and it's like 5 minutes in, you're like, dude, I haven't even seen you talk about this camera yet. He just like jumps right in. He's good at it, right? Like, he's just like,
he doesn't waste any time.
I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, I'm excited about it, and I hope it's great. I really do, and I felt this way last year, and I was disappointed. So hopefully, the 10 is going to be my new camera. We'll see.
I've never had any issues.
No,
with any of my GoPros.
Yeah, the 9 would just shut off on me. I was on. So you mentioned Scouts Out. I was on a ride with him. He remembers where the first 5 minutes just like turned into like, I don't know, 40 minutes waiting for Tony because the camera's all messed up, and then I ended up swapping out the 9 for the 8 in ride, and then the 8 was perfect the rest of the time. So I don't. Who knows? I have heard similar people like other YouTubers we talked to, like BCPOV did the same thing. It couldn't use the 9 because it kept conking out and it reliability issues. I think it's kind of a thing where maybe you get a good one, maybe you get a dud, but yeah, we'll see. I had 2. Fingers crossed.
You had 2 duds. Oh man, I don't like your odds, Tony. Maybe you shouldn't go gambling. I don't know.
I know. Well, I'm actually a good gambler. I grew up in Connecticut. We had the largest casino in the world.
Oh, good grief.
Foxwoods. It's in the middle of a forest, and you drive from New Haven, Connecticut, and it's all highway, and then you get off the exit, and it's like all forest, and then this glass sculpture in the sky shoots up from the forest. I bet all of you guys want to go now. Doesn't that sound fun?
We've got something like that here where it's like Luis Morongo Casino.
Oh, yeah.
It's like desert, flat. Holy crap, that's a huge, tall casino.
Yeah, you're like, what the heck is that? And you're like, what the heck?
And why are the Beach Boys playing there tonight?
Yeah.
Those are the most random people always playing there, too. Yeah. Like, Kiss? What is this?
There's like one live member there.
Yeah. It's like Jane said, I think is the only one left. Still rocking, still getting it done. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Hey, Tony, where did the whole appreciation station come from?
Oh man, early on in the videos, I did like this video. I think it was in San Luis Obispo where I overlooked the ocean and I was talking about taking in the view.
Yeah.
And it was from somebody that commented like that sounds like like I had just kind of mentioned like this is cool. It's like an appreciation station. And someone in the comments were all like, dude, that's exactly what it is, and that's what you should do in every video. And I was like, I do that in person in every ride, so let's that makes sense. Let's do it. and then every video it stuck. I actually gave him credit for it in the following video. I was like, this guy, I forgot his name now, but that's a long time ago. But yeah, it became a thing because that's what got me really into mountain biking in the first place. Was like a place. I'm not good at meditating or yoga, but when I'm out on the trail bike in the middle of nowhere in the middle of a beautiful place, it took a minute to like appreciate where I was, and then let's get crazy. But like, it was like taking that like minute or two to like be present, where in normal life it's hard to do that, right? Like at your work or you're in traffic, it sucks. Like when you're on a bike and you're in a place like that, it really brings you to a level where it's like, this is the time where I could take a second, slow down for a minute.
Exactly.
Nice.
I do that on the climbs.
Love it.
I'm not a religious man, but I do a lot of praying when I climb.
Can I please let me make it to the top?
Please. Don't embarrass me like this right now, buddy.
That's all right, Tony. When you come out, we'll take you on Dunn Road.
What's that?
That's gotta be the christening. It is a horrible.
It's awful. I gave Mark plenty of a heads up on it. I was like, dude, this climb is going to suck. Yeah. It's the first like mile and a half is 1,200 feet. And it sucks.
It is pretty nasty.
And is it hot?
Yeah, it's always like hotter because it's in the canyon right there.
Yeah,
so
there's no breeze. Like, when there's a breeze because you hit it and you're like, oh. And like you have your appreciation station song. That's the song that I hear when the breeze hits me. It's like, you know.
That's from Legend of Zelda, by the way. It's
Yeah.
Mark, I died twice. Well, we got up to the climb of death, and it was like, I'm like,
Spicy.
all right, dude, here we come. We're coming up to the climb of death. I'm like, this is it. He's like, oh, okay. And we get to the top, and you can hear him in his video. He's like,
Oh yeah.
It's hurting.
yeah.
Yeah, right now, I want to say right now, I'm probably in the worst shape I've been in for climbing in a couple of years. I've been like traveling, and when I was traveling, I was doing bike parks in Utah, and then came back and just went to Snow Valley and Snow Summit a lot. And I just have failed on the climbs lately of just getting myself acclimated again. Like I'll go on one, and then it'll be like, all right, that sucks, but we're back in business. And then I'll go on another one like a week later, and it'll be the same thing. So I keep starting over. So, well, you know how it goes. Like if you guys don't keep up, if you don't climb regularly, you start over every time. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like
Your
I
body
feel
hates
if I
you.
don't, I feel if I don't ride for like a week, and I'm all excited, stoked to go for a ride that weekend, I just feel like I'm just dying.
Yeah.
What have I done? Milk was such a bad choice.
Oh my god. Yeah. I grew up lactose intolerant, so I don't even. I can't. I do the soy. Lately, it's been oat milk.
Oh, oat milk's legit. That's what we use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely saves the gut.
Hey,
Yeah.
Isaiah,
Yeah.
I rode an XC bike all last week, and I'm going to say it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
That thing is-
borrowed my buddy's Intense Sniper, which is the 100 mil front and rear. And I went and just got trophies on the ups, got trophies on the downs. It was like,
On the downs too, eh?
yeah. I was like,
It's
I killed some
surprising.
of my best times. It's so fast.
Well, it doesn't help. It's also got 100mm rotors front and back because it's a straight race XC machine. So you're not even stopping on the way down. You're just kind of slightly slowing down. Be better off.
I rode
spreading your-
I rode the Izzo, which is basically YT's XC.
That's a cool
bike.
bike.
Yep.
Yeah, in Sedona, and it was, dude, it's crazy how much of a difference it makes on those like in Sedona and climby stuff. You don't
Yeah.
need a lot of travel for most trails in Sedona because it's so up and down, and that thing was just like kind of a beast on the trail. So I kind of feel you on that one.
I have a friend who he's a Shimano athlete, and he went to the YT factory and had it built up, picked it up from the owner there, and he loves that thing,
Yeah,
the Izzo.
yeah, it's fun. I took it for a weekend, and I just rode that, and it's pretty crazy because you get a little bit spoiled about. It's not an e-bike, obviously, but it puts you in a position that you should be in for climbing, and it's just so light.
Yeah.
Getting on my trail bike after that, I felt like I was on a DH bike.
Dude, I haven't been on my bike yet since riding that bike, and I know I'm going to be like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, Isaiah's
Totally,
got a good
man.
question. How does everybody feel about the YT e-bike?
Yeti
Or,
e-bike.
Yeti e-bike. I don't know much about it.
I've seen pictures.
It looks cool.
It looks.
Yeah, I
I
mean-
think it looks better than their normal bikes. I think.
I mean, I guess this is maybe a generic response, but aren't all brands e-bikes kind of similar now? Like, I don't know. Is it just like their trail bike on steroids or a trail bike with a battery? Like, is it what does it look different, or are they doing? Is Yeti doing something different with the battery?
They made a whole new suspension system for it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the regular suspension system that you can get on one of their normal bikes.
Okay. That's interesting. I'll check it out. I haven't really looked into it. I do know that I'm going to be trying to get a YT decoy to have added to the arsenal to make some content from, which should be interesting because for traveling trips and for just some local trail rides that maybe seem too long to get some for me climbs done.
Yeah. AKA Tony doesn't want to climb.
Yeah. Well, there's even some more. Like, here's an example. Like, the luge has a brutal climb, and then
I've heard,
you want to extend that further up to the old campground. It's like another couple miles through brutal terrain, but the descent's fun. So I want to kind of test and see. Like, the argument is basically like, if you have an e-bike, just you're not going to get as much exercise or whatever.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
such a
get-
bull.
Yeah, because you can get double the laps, so you just have
Yeah.
more energy to get more fun. So I really want to kind of test that theory and play around with that mentality, because I feel like the one time I rode the decoy and the Oregon e-bike specifically was at San Clemente, and we were blasting up the climbs. I had no idea it was going to be like
Climbs
that, and
there
I
suck too.
I could not believe it. We put it in boost mode, and we were flying up switchbacks. Where there was one point I used my brakes going up a switchback, and I was just like, my mind was melted. It's just a different philosophy as far as riding goes, because it wasn't like I'm like, it was just like it was like it felt like we were on a lift, like I was on a pseudo bike lift just to get to the next run.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun.
I mean, I think for me personally, like I've always thought about switching over to one, just because Family Guy, I've got limited time, and being able to get more laps in that time would be just amazing.
Yeah. What's this? Look at Mark's video that proves what wrong, Isaiah?
Mark
By the way,
did a
hello.
video of the e-bike versus the acoustic bike in 60 minutes,
Yeah.
where he rode, him and Joey both went out 60 minutes on the acoustic bike, and then went out and did 60 minutes on the e-bike and compared heart rate, how many laps, distance, stuff like that.
And what happened?
He had a higher heart rate and burned more calories on the e-bike.
Oh, wow. Because he was constantly moving?
It just
I wonder
still
if that-
going for it.
Well, because, like, here's the difference. Like, I remember having the e-bike, and then we were done with a run, and we just kept, like, pedaling up. Because,
Yeah, you don't
put
stop.
You just put it back in, you put it back in boost mode so you don't take that break at the end of a run. So it's just like, boop, boop, and this you're still pedaling, but calming, but you're like, oh, it's still okay, but you're just getting more help so you can kind of keep progressing.
Yeah.
Usually at the end of a run, everyone hangs out and it's like slapping hands. It's like, dude, that was sick. I was like,
Fist bumps for everybody.
yeah. And then on this, it was just like, all right, we're doing that on the climb up because everyone just has the same momentum going. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. You
Sorry I
mentioned,
missed that one, Mark. Usually I watch all your videos.
I think he's getting ready for his podcast right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sedona. Tony, are you going in November, or are you going to wait for the one in March?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go. I'll hopefully go to both, but I already have my bookings done for this November. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I think I'll be there from Thursday, and I'm gonna stay a couple extra days to get some riding in because it's pretty packed on the weekend. I just want to hang out. Usually, we'll see, but I haven't been to one before. But usually, in events like this, there's a lot of social stuff going on. So I want to be able to like get some ride-ins in case I don't get all the riding I want to do in. I'm saying a lot of the same things over and over again right now. That's okay.
I'll be getting
No,
there
you're
like
good.
that Friday. So
Yeah.
Friday,
You're in there?
Yeah, I'll be there probably Friday through Monday. We'll probably take off Monday. Take
cool.
my wife so we can do some scenic stuff. I'll do a couple of rides, So this is my first time there, so I'm pretty
I'll be
excited.
there.
Pretty stoked.
Nice. So I'll be there. It's going to be like a YouTube convention again. Usually,
Right?
Usually this one is.
I know Paul the punter said he's going to try and come down if the border's open.
Yeah, he was there last year, I think, and that's right. Or no, the year before was it? It was like
It was
right when
before
was
COVID
happening.
like got serious.
Yeah,
It was like the week before.
Yeah, he almost got stuck here and tried to zip back up to Canada before things got locked out.
He's gonna come down here with some PTSD, scared. Like, please, let me get back.
For real.
Well, I think one more topic for the end of the night, but probably a super controversial one, especially since you're Italian. Pineapple on pizza.
Love it. Yeah, with ham.
Oh, all right.
You're
That's
so
the
progressive,
Hawaiian.
Tony.
That's the whole. That's the Hawaiian, man. You gotta have the ham and pineapple, though. Yeah, I think the only thing that I don't like as far as pizza goes is the white clam pizza. I just never got into it. I know that's very Italian too. I just don't like. I need sauce on the friggin' pizza, man. I need to
Give me the sauce.
Yeah, 20 marinara.
If you come out, we'll go hit a pizza spot here. They have a pastrami pizza,
Okay.
and
That
it's
sounds
bomb. It's so good. Instead of using their sauce, they use mustard. And you've got your pastrami, you've got your onions. It's so good.
See, we're now stretching into is that even pizza category? Because if you're going
Sandwich,
mustard,
that sandwich.
I'm not saying it's not delicious, but is it pizza? I don't know.
It looks like pizza. It's a slice.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it is. Technically, it is. I just when I think pizza, I think tomato sauce and cheese and a meatball maybe on there or something like that. But
A meatball. That's weird.
yeah, well, a meatball,
one big
into
one,
little pieces. Yeah,
there you
just
go.
one in the middle.
Yeah,
just all get a little bit.
The crown on top, if you will.
No, I mean, you guys got a lot to live up to. I'm coming from the East Coast with pizza over here, from New Haven, Connecticut, and I'm that guy. I'm going to be calling out our Sally's Pizza, and you know.
So I love the New York style pizza where it's like a little bit thinner, super greasy, just a big O slice. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I love the thin slice, and I grew up too with Sicilian. You guys ever get the Sicilian cut? It's like almost like a cake pizza. It's all fluffy.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Cake pizza. I'm hungry now. Damn it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? The first time I went to Chicago a couple years ago, the first time I ever had deep dish was basically when you were talking about something that doesn't feel like a pizza. I mean, you had to eat that with a fork and knife. It's crazy. That's a cake pizza for sure.
Oh, jeez.
Well, hey Tony, besides how with you being full time, I know Patreon's a big thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you plug it?
Yeah, Outsider MTB. We do a monthly group rides, product giveaways once per month, early video releases, and the community is fantastic. It really is. And I know a lot of people just say that, but everyone on there is super positive, and we've got everybody from beginners to experts on there, and it's all inclusive, and it's just a really awesome community that I love being a part of. So that's my pitch. And if you want to join it, it's $4 per month, and
totally worth it.
Totally worth it. You're buying me a coffee, basically.
Pretty much.
And, yeah, that's the pitch right there. Thanks, Adam, for allowing me to throw that out there.
Of course.
Sure.
You got any sponsors you want to plug?
Oh yeah.
I don't keep away from that. I mean, YT sponsors the channel. Tokyo Automotive sponsors my travels. I got Squirt RX. Gravity Bicycles is a local bike shop. Great suspension, and there's a couple more that are going to be creeping up. I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm in the works.
Well, glad having you, Tony. Real meatball sandwich of a man. Enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, you guys. And for everyone that's here, I think Mark's podcast is about to start right after this, too, right?
Yes, it is. Real quick, Mr. Colorado Kid just hopped in here. Is Tony joining Alan and I in the legendary Mustache Club?
Oh
man, I don't know. See, here's the thing. This is the first time in my life I'm ever trying to grow out a beard, and it's not working that well because it's so thick here. So I'm in that weird in between phase where like you just this is the response. Joe, tell me if I'm wrong. You get to this point where you just want to shave it off, but you got to stick through that for like another week or two.
Yeah,
in order to get to like where it like really becomes what it is. So
and it
I'm
stops
learning
itching
as I go. Yeah,
the itch is what kills me.
And being like it's a little ratty right now. So I'm gonna give it a shot for another week or two, but then we'll talk about that. Maybe.
See, I've tried to like just shave it and go clean cut because it's always fun to do it every once in a while. And the wife's like, "No, I like the beard." Considering at first she was like, "No, I don't know about the beard," because I used to have a goatee and that was it. And she's like, "I don't know about the beard," so I tried it, and she's like, "Okay, I like it." Then I went to go shave, and she's like, "You're not shaving again."
You look like a toddler. Give me my husband back.
That's part of it. It's weird too. When I shave it, it's always like, "Yeah, ID'd."
Yeah.
Yeah. He's walking around like Britney Spears with like a hoodie on. Like,
yeah.
That's funny.
Oh sure. Man, I'm working on growing my mullet back. Ooh.
Oh, disgusting.
I don't have to grow one.
A mullet?
Yeah, you don't have to grow a mullet.
I saw what you were doing.
He's gonna do it. Oh, good grief. He whips this. I'm gonna. When next time I visit over there, I'm taking this thing.
So we can't do this again.
I mean, why do you have to grow a mullet when you can just put one on anytime you want?
That looks so hot to wear that.
Dude, it is. It's a Joe Dirt mullet.
I actually like that. It looks pretty good. If you wore that and I never met you, I'd be like, damn, dude.
Dude, I've thought about doing it. Like, we have a road race here like a road race here, like a road ride. I thought about showing up in like jorts from Hand Up and like American flag shirt and like wearing this underneath my helmet and just being that guy.
Underneath the helmet. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Wait, he's gone.
We lost him.
He hated that mullet so much, he's out.
Oh, yeah, that is hot. Wife hates that thing.
Yeah, you got to keep it, though.
Oh, always.
Yeah,
I want to do...
Joe is the guy that we should all ask for beard and mustache tips, because he is one of the most prominent mustaches I've ever seen, honestly, in my life. Like, my dad had a mustache for my entire childhood, and Joe kicked his ass with that friggin' mustache. Anyway, that's my compliment to you, Joe. It's pretty good.
I think Joe will probably never live down his beard, though.
No, I mean, I feel like it's going to come back. It's only a matter of time. But right now, the mustache is just getting too much airtime and too much love for him to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Scouts out? Mark's going to be hopefully joining me in Downeyville.
Nice.
In a week and a half. The forests up there are going to be open, and rooms are booked. So, Joe, get in touch with us too, man. It'll be awesome to have you meet us up there end of the month. Yeah, last week.
I'm sure he'll definitely be down for that.
Can you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I guess that's the end of the episode here, so we can go raid Mark's live stream now.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for having me on, Adam. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Anytime, man. I'm a talker. I'm a chatter. So that's how it goes.
We'll have you on again.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. That is the end. Everyone head over to Mark's, the segments podcast here. We'll see you there.